were you sitting? Were you the one in the booth that knew everything about me?
Yes, I was.
Here, I'll put on some music.
The middle booth. Oh, Marcus, I didn't recognize you. Sorry.
Hello and welcome to episode 97 of the 30s podcast. My name is Clint.
My name is Uncle Marcus.
Hello, Uncle Marcus.
What's going on?
We have
Freaking water.
Necesito de agua. We have producer Caesar.
Hi.
And it's his birthday. And that's our
Thank you
show.
guys. Thank you guys.
That's it.
All right, yeah. This week.
That's all I want to say. Bye.
Easy guys.
Go to Caesar Chella. No, you can't. It already happened.
That's true. It would have already happened by now. It was a rager. See,
It was
a
crazy.
great
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
You know how to throw a party.
It was a
Appreciate
good time.
Okay, since we're talking about that right away, I wanted to bring you. Just because
Yes.
we're talking about the party.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. A lot of thinking went into this
waiting
conversation.
to start. Sorry. That was really funny.
That was right out of the gate.
So I was thinking about who I'm inviting to this party, and obviously I invited you guys.
Obviously.
But then I thought about it, and I'm like, inviting Marcus is like if I knew Larry David in real life.
I know, right?
Like I'm like I'll invite him, but like, am I doing him a favor by like maybe just being like, I know you can't come, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I'm curious, and a lot of people that listen to it that know you probably are like, do we invite you to parties or not?
I think I've said that before on here. I do get invited to a lot of stuff, but I never go.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I did go out. I have the story.
Yeah.
I have a story. I did go out this past weekend, but yeah, I'm not going. But hey, the reason I don't go out places is because I get up at like 4:30 in the morning.
Okay. No, it's fair.
So, and mostly I just don't want to. But like, but for yours, because we talked about it, like I would mind showing up for a second, but bet tomorrow I will be at work until 7:30 p.m.
Oh, got it.
And then I work at 6 a.m. the next day.
Oh,
Like I'm literally just going home and going to bed.
Yeah.
And I do those double back whatever days. So, but I heard it was a rager, so it was a great time. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so just always
Yeah.
go for the invite, but I won't expect you to be there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even if I don't get it, I don't feel any kind of way about it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I just keep on. You know,
Yeah.
carry on. That's how I feel about a lot of that stuff. So.
I mean, as your friends, we'd like you there, but it's your choice if you want to be
But you
there.
guys
I get
also
it.
know me, so
Exactly,
it's like,
exactly.
We get it.
We talked about it in the car on the way here. I was like, I feel like people just tolerate me. Like a lot of my friends or people I know, like, are they? I do this thing where I'm like, do they actually like me or do they just tolerate me?
Hmm.
And I'm like, it's probably a little bit of both. Like, you know, there's
Yeah, like they like you as a person, they'll tolerate some habits.
yes, yeah.
Right.
And because like I understand I'm a lot. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like, especially on this show, it's like this guy's nuts. You know, so I get it. So that makes me okay with it, but I do go back and forth. Like I don't think these people actually like me, but they invited me here, so
Yeah.
Well, there's some parts because it's like when Skylar and I think of inviting you to things, we're like, well, it's gonna have to fit in his time frame.
true.
It's gonna have to be between 5 to 7.
Yeah,
Because because even going out, you have to build this momentum to get to the thing. Doesn't mean that like, oh, we're all going to start there. You have to think about, well, I have to get ready with this amount of time. And then by the time we're out, what time is that going to be?
yeah.
Because that's different than, is Marcus free today? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
Whose is this? Whose
That
voice?
fights,
Is
that's me and Skylar.
you guys
I don't know. What do you want to do? Don't start that again.
sound like a Winnie the Pooh thing.
Oh, bother.
What's
man.
the Eeyore? That's the
Eeyore.
word. I'm like, what,
'Cause
who's
that's
talking to each other? in
Just
this
trying to figure out,
situation?
so what do you think Eeyore wants to do today? Yeah. And it's like, oh, Eeyore does not want to do that. I don't think he wants to go out at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. I do. There's a lot of like.
There's levels to it.
There's like, okay,
Yeah.
it has to be before this time, and it has to be something that he wants to do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's not going to do it. You
Yeah.
know, and or just. I get it. Okay, I get
Mhm.
it. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. Is like
I respect
understand.
that.
Yeah, I
I'm the
understand.
same way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we all have our things. I know
Mhm.
I'm a bit extreme about them, but it's like, I get it.
Yeah, like
So-
recently I've been going out more than normal, but it's because, oh, there was a graduation thing or there was a specific event.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, we're all gonna go hang out at Yard House if you want to come.
That's the thing that I don't do. Like if I get like a mass invite kind of thing, like there's gonna be like 50 people there. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But if it's like a dinner party or like, okay, so I talked about what I went out last week or a few days ago, actually at this point, a few days ago. It was for a birthday party and it was not like a huge group of people and it was with close friends. So, and I happened to be off that day. So I was like, yeah, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
And so, well, let me just talk about what happened. So we went to this place in Riverside. You know where the Mission is, right? It's like across the street from it. It's called the Lobby, I think.
I think so.
Anyway, so this event was sold to me as a brunch.
Oh.
Okay. I like a good brunch. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like drinking at 11 a.m. or whatever, but I like a good brunch. So I said yes, I would go. It's not till 1, which is fine. So we go to. I haven't been to that area of Riverside in like 10 years, right?
Oh.
It's just not. It's not close to me. It's out of the way, and I just don't really like it. But so it'd been a long time since I was there. But the last time I was there 10 years ago, it was like a nice-ish kind of place. It was kind of like a cheaper Pasadena, you know, cheaper. You know what I mean? Like less than.
It's a lot like it gives us a similar vibe.
It's like old. It's old like Pasadena. And
it's like desert Pasadena.
Yeah. It's got this, it looks similar, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is probably gonna be like a nice-ish brunch, right? And I was going back and forth about, do I dress nice or do I dress comfortable? Dress comfortable, Marcus. You know yourself. So I get there and I go to the parking lot, right? There's multiple parking structures. I go into one parking structure and it's Sunday and it's like empty in there. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And I park up on the second floor and I park right next to the stairs, right? And so I open the staircase to go down the stairs. There's 2 people smoking meth. Right there. Meth. And they look right at me. And I kind of have to like go around them. I think they looked at me to like, hey, turn around and get out of here.
Oh.
I just went around them. Just like, hello. Walked right around the meth smokers, whatever. I'm going to say crackheads. But crack's not meth, is it? Is it the same thing?
Caesar?
How would he know that?
I don't know. I think they're 2 different things.
Okay, anyway, they're both, to me, they're like the same thing. I don't really know what
I mean, yeah, they're bad drugs.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Meth is worse.
Like, I don't know the difference between crack, meth, angel dust, like all. Walk around the meth heads. I'm like, well, that's a great way to start the day. And I go to the brunch place, and I'm like, I had to call her name's Lauren. I had to call her just like, where is this place? Because there's like a bunch of different places, and like I'm like, come outside so I can see which one it is. And so I walk outside this building, and she's like, oh, you're wearing a green shirt, which I was, and I'm like, oh, she's like, oh, I see you. So the building she walks out from is like playing loud music, right? This is 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And it's like a DJ's in there, right?
On a Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a brunch, and I'm looking in the place, and it's like dark in there, and it's like, you know, like what like a club looks like, where it's like purple dark lighting. I'm like, this cannot be right. And so she walks out and like, oh hi, oh my god, I'm like hi, and so brings us in. It's like a small place, right? But it has an upstairs. So like I'm walking down it's 2 stories. The first story is pretty much just like a long bar. There's like 2 tables in the back. And then the stairs go up to the other part. And so we have like a private little terrace, just us up there. And I'm like, the DJ's up there with us. So this is our table right here. Caesar's the DJ. That's how close he is.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is a weird brunch, right? And luckily the DJ's speakers are facing that way, because that's where the bar is, down on the lower area. So the DJ is kind of like presiding over the lower space, and we're behind him. So the speakers they're not super loud, right?
Yeah.
It's like at a good volume where I can still speak in this volume next to you and hear what you're saying. So that's a plus. And it's playing house music, I guess, and it was kind of like a nice vibe, but I just wasn't expecting it. I was like, this is not what I expected for a Sunday brunch.
Yeah, no.
It was just like,
no.
You know, it was like,
How?
so it was kind of like a shock. And so I sit down and I'm talking to, there's like 4 of us that are there. And like, there's more coming, but the only ones that are there right now. And we're just kind of talking, and like, there's no server coming up or anything to like at least get our drinks. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I get it. I do this job too. It's sometimes you're busy, whatever. And so we're there and the power turns off. right?
Oh.
So everything just goes dark, and then like the music stops, and I'm like, oh, everyone else is unfazed. Like they're still talking. I'm like, we're in the dark now. No one's even going to mention that we're just sitting in the dark. and the music stopped. And then, like the DJ is just like, I see him like leave to like go into the back. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. And it's finally like acknowledged. They're like, oh, what happened? I'm like, the power went out. Like that's what happened.
You're like, welcome to the situation.
Yeah, and
like,
the DJ comes back out and like, okay, we're fixing it, guys. I'm like, all right, well, who cares? Like, we're fine. And then the server finally comes up when the power's out, and she was like, hey guys, she brought up waters and like, hey guys, because the power's out, I can't put in it's one of those ones where it's portable, so they come to your table and just punch it in while you're we're talking to you. And my thing's not working, so I can't get any drinks going. And I'm like, so we're just sitting here in the dark until
brunch?
Yeah, until the power comes back on.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. But everyone else is just like, no problem. And like, I'm like, yeah, no problem. But also, because I'm chill, it's like, this isn't like we can leave. Like, there's plenty of food places here. And so she walks off, and I'm like, as she left, I'm like, she can't just write it down. And like, I know that's like old school to write down an order, but she can just write it down and then go to the bar and say, hey, I need this. Mm-hmm. She came back like 5 minutes later and did that. She was like, I'll just write it down and tell the bar. I'm like, yeah.
She figured it out. Wow.
Yeah. Good job. You figured it out. So she does that, and like we get around with drinks, and then the manager comes up and he's like, hey guys, we're gonna just move you outside because that way you're not in the dark. We don't want the power's coming back on, right? We're like, okay.
What the hell?
So they lead us outside, and like as soon they start like pushing tables together for us, and like there's standing tables out there too, and they start pushing like tables together, and we're like, we're waiting out here, right? Like we don't need to have the whole thing set up. And so they push all these tables together, and as soon as they get them all put together, like the power's back. Wow. So they lead us back inside. I'm like, what is this, dude? This is weird. And that's how it started. And then like it was just after that, it was like just whatever. It was like regular brunch. But then the food, like she took our food order, and it took forever for the food to come out. And it came up like one plate at a time.
Oh,
and there ended up being like 15, 16, 17 of us. And I was on the far end of the table. And then they brought it out like one plate at a time this way. The food.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Of course you're the farthest.
I was hungry. And like, I'm telling you, like, it was so spread out that they were done. Everyone was like done with all of their food, like as the next one came out. And no one's saying anything. No one's like.
How do you know these people? Work friends?
Yeah. Well, I ended up only knowing like 5 of them, and then the rest were like friends I've never met before.
Oh.
So it was very like cliquey at the table. Like I sat with a clique that I knew, but no one's saying anything. Like I'm not saying complain. No one's acknowledging that this is happening to us. Like no one acknowledged the power. No one's acknowledging that this couldn't just write down the drinks. Sorry, not bitch. She was nice. No one's acknowledging that you can't like, that they're bringing up the food one plate at a time. Everyone's just like, blah, blah, blah. They're just chatting and drinking.
Like, this is fine.
Like me and the friend I was next to, John, he might meet him. We were like, what's happening? Yeah. Because we both had kind of the same thought of like, this will be like a nice brunch or whatever. We're like, what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was one of the last, me and this other guy across from me were the last ones to get our food. And like, I forgot what I ordered. By the time it came, I was like, what? Did I order that? Sure, whatever. Just drop it off. I'm hungry. And so we eat our food. And then the bill comes around and half the table leaves.
Huh.
Right? The other clique that's at the table left.
Yeah.
They left when the bill came. And so and it was like a Facebook planned thing, like everyone there and like in the Facebook said, everyone just bring cash. That way we can just all throw down cash. And everybody, the half the table left. And I was like, are they coming back to pay for
Oh my God.
And we had to call it, like, you guys have to come back and pay for your
really?
stuff.
They had to, where did they think
went
they
to
could
like
go?
to like a bar across the way or something. We're like, we didn't pay yet. We can't leave if you didn't pay yet. So we're like putting down money. And then there was gratuity because we were a big party. And then they were like, do you guys want to leave down any extra? And I was like, are you joking? The power went off in here. They paraded us outside, paraded us right back in. The food took forever to come out, and it was like one at a time. like, and they did nothing for us. They were like, oh, we'll knock off like 10%, whatever.
10%?
For an
That's
inconvenience.
nothing.
Like, they did nothing. I'm like, no, they're not getting extra.
No.
And as someone who's done that for 17 years, like serving, bartending, whatever, that's a lot for me to. I've been out with you. I tip fat every time. I'm always like, just pay it forward, whatever. I was like, no, they're not getting extra. They have gratuity. She's taken care of. Okay, she doesn't need any because she was like I said, she was nice, but she was kind of spacey. It's like she doesn't need any extra. Like, we're fine, right? And then it was just like it was one of those.
It's
things.
just so crazy because there's so many times where it's like we could have easily left.
Yeah,
and then you're asking for more money.
And two, like, it's not like we were out at like some place like on a cliff or like a nice place.
Yeah, it's
like,
not like this is the only
place. We're surrounded
place.
by food right now. We are surrounded by food places.
Yeah.
We can be like, oh, we'll just go somewhere else, if the power's off. And I'm like, no, we're going to stay. Like, okay, whatever. And then afterwards, everyone went to a bar and I went in for like 5 minutes and I was like, I'm going home, guys. Like, this is.
Yeah, that's too much.
Because it was like, I'm already over it. Like, I am still processing the whole brunch of like, what happened? And no one said anything.
Yeah.
And then by the time we were done, it was like 3:34. And so like I was just ready to go home, And I was on Instagram like throughout the day and like they were still there at like 9 o'clock. I'm like, you guys have been drinking from 1 o'clock to 9. They were there past that. That's when I went to bed because I had to work the next day. I'm like, you guys were drinking all day. I can't do that.
I can't.
Even like before when I was younger, I could do it, but it was still like you still feel like a monster while you're doing it. Oh, God. Anyway, that's my brunch story.
Oh my God.
But I went out.
Surprised,
That's the point of the story. I went out. But see, here's the deal.
But at what cost?
I went out and that shit happened.
At what cost? Like, that's terrible.
I mean, it's
like the worst case scenario.
The cost had a fun story to tell you guys.
It's a good story though. See, okay,
you know
that's
what?
the silver
I
lining.
told my friend John in the moment because he was like kind of like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, at least we have a story to tell now.
Exactly. I would be sitting there with him and be like, we just have to watch this.
Yeah.
We have to see what goes on.
Once I'm in it, I'm not going to leave, but like that is kind of how I think about things now when I go out or I do like the Starbucks stories that I have. I'm like, well, this sucks and it's interesting or whatever, but now I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
So anyway. Oh, should we do the Annie thing right now or wait?
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay.
You do it? Yeah.
This is kind of like a follow-up, I guess, then. So last week we talked about, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the Comedy Store and how I was a psycho. I don't know what you want to call it.
Sure.
Anyway, so we went to the store and like we went to the Annie Wood show and like I won the shirt and I've just like proved myself as a super fan or whatever, or embarrassed myself if you want to look at it. But so today, so she has Patreon, right? You know what Patreon is, right? Okay. So, which if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's like someone has a personal page.
Like OnlyFans, but for podcasts.
Yeah, we should probably start one.
Sure, I don't know but they don't put nudes on there, so it's like, well, maybe they do.
That's what I'm saying, for content that's not like nudes.
It's a paywall thing, so you can pay for extra content, whatever they decide to put on there. So she has one, and she had one like years ago during the pandemic. Maybe it was before the pandemic too, where it was called $20 Holler was one of the tiers, which I subscribed at that. And I think the only like bonus content from that tier is that you would do FaceTimes or Zooms. Like everyone that was on that tier would Zoom in and just hang out. And I never got to do that because it was always on a time where I was not available. So I was paying for nothing. I really wasn't. But like we've talked about on the show before, like we went to Flappers. We did the meet and greet. I'm like, oh, I remember you. I don't think she did, but So I'm like around, right? The name is like floated out there and recognized it. So when he went to the Comedy Store, well, that story is 2 weeks ago, but today did a Patreon, her and Todd, her boyfriend did a Patreon stream, a live stream, which I was listening to before I had to leave. And I had wrote in like, oh, I was at Annie Wood 2 weeks, where I said like, oh, Annie Wood was fun, and she's like, which one? Oh, let's just listen. Okay.
I won the shirt you threw out. Uncle Marcus got the
Yeah,
shirt. Wow,
you did?
how crazy is that?
Wait, where were you sitting? Were you the one in the booth that knew everything about me?
Yes, I was.
Here, I'll put on some music.
The middle booth. Oh, Marcus, I didn't recognize you. Sorry. I was making fun of him though. I was like, "You're so creepy. You knew everything. You knew my middle name, right?"
That's pretty much where it ends. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
That's funny.
I was acknowledged for my creepiness, and in that we'll put it in the video. But Todd is wearing the same shirt that I am.
Yeah,
and it was just I put this on today. So I'm wearing all black right now. I wanted to wear all black, and this was like a nice black shirt that fits me well. So I just put it on, and then I went into the live stream. And I'm like, oh my god, he's wearing the same shirt. It was just like a fun synchronicity that happened this morning.
yeah, because you're at that point. It's like you're in her bubble enough to where she remembers. Like I feel like that's a skill to develop, is to be able to remember people.
Yeah,
and remember specific things. Like I want to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm okay at it. I think I could improve.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah,
I'm bad with that. But yeah, you're right. It's a skill on both ends because you have to actually try and do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me, I don't ever really try, so it all just kind of falls out. So you actually have to attempt to learn names or like information, whatever. But then you also, on the other end, you have to be memorable. You know?
Yeah. Something like, what did you do that made me remember you?
What did I do?
Or just in general, like that's what's going on in my head. Like,
oh, I thought you were talking about me. Like, I don't know.
How do I know you? Like, it's funny when students remember specific bits I've done.
Yeah,
and they'll quote it, and I don't remember. I'm like, oh, that sounds about right, but I'm like, I don't remember talking about that.
Right. Do you remember what I did when we first met?
First met?
Yeah, because I have one for you. But do you know? Was there anything about me that made you remember me?
You. I just felt like, oh, I think we're gonna be friends for a while.
Okay.
I feel like we like similar stuff, and then you being older, I was like, oh, well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might know stuff I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Then I added you on Facebook.
That's my thing. Was it Facebook or Instagram?
It was Facebook.
It's a beautiful story, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, when I first met him, I met him through our friend, and it was at his house, like his birthday, right? Casino night.
Yeah.
Thing. He was like, "Oh, this is my friend Clint." I'm like, "Oh, hi, Marcus," and like. Please look at me. He literally went like onto his phone and added me on Instagram. After saying hi, and I was like, "Oh, that's an aggressive thing to do." This guy's interesting.
Wow.
But it made him memorable because we used to bring it up every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That time you added me when looking me in the eye. We met.
Boink.
Better add me back.
I think I added Lauren too.
Did you? Yeah, oh yeah, because we were both there that
Same
night.
time.
Yeah, she's been recently off mine.
Damn.
I did like a cleanse of just people I don't talk to. And
Yeah.
so not like a bad thing. It's just like I'm never gonna see you again. Or
I did a bit of a just to stay off my phone this week. Just a little dopamine cleanse.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Okay.
Because and then even when I got like back on it, because I was off it for a few days, and then I saw Kellen message me, and I was like, well, I can't not be on this now.
Yeah, friend of the show.
If I could network on this thing, but I didn't want to be doom scrolling.
Can't you restrict it in some way?
Yeah, so I think that's what it has to come down to is you get really good at like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this.
You can also do like a time limit thing.
And I did that too. So it's on like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And
is
it's
that
like
for the whole day or just at a time?
At the whole day. Well, because Instagram's kind of nice. Instagram will like once you hit the 20-minute mark, it'll be like, are you sure you still want to be on here? And I'm like, that's the most honest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be on here. You're right.
Yeah.
I want to stop using this.
Yeah.
I should stop. Thanks, Instagram.
Yeah. Remember when Netflix used to do that? Like, are you still watching?
Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still watching. Don't shame me about it.
Yeah, I pay $15 a month for this.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I'm
got
still
nothing to
watching.
do today. Yeah, I'm still watching.
Yes. Sorry, I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I paused your dumb movie to watch something on my phone.
Yeah. Or when it goes on too, that's what I'm talking about, when they go on too long. And it's like, are you still sitting on the couch? Yes, I'm still sitting on the couch. Okay. I'll tell you when I'm done.
Yeah.
We might be turning you off.
This is why we're out.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore, but it was kind of aggressive. Anyway, what's going on with you this week?
No, just working at the Angel games because the Yankees were in town.
Okay.
The Yankees were here. I geeked out because one of the elevator guys said that Billy Crystal was there, but I didn't see him. But I just thought that's one of like my comedy icons.
Billy Crystal?
Billy Crystal is one of them.
Interesting.
He's like that 80s, 90s era
Yeah.
of comedies, and back when like there were movies like City Slickers, and he's when Harry Met Sally,
right?
Like just like some pretty big movies, and he's Mike Wazowski.
Who?
Mike Wazowski.
Oh, that's the eyeball guy, right?
There it is.
Okay. Sorry. Know your audience. It sounds like just like a Jewish guy. Oh, he's Mike Wazowski?
Well, he is Jewish, yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting that you say that because recently Caesar said it before that like 90s stuff is coming back, and it is. I mean, it is. It's very clear. But like the X-Men show, like it's very clear that people want like
that
like older stuff. And I don't know what I was listening to, but I was thinking about like 80s movies or 90s movies, how like you can't do them anymore.
Well, yeah, that's like with thinking of Billy Crystal. It's like, because he had so many hits back then, but it's like they wouldn't make them.
Right. And they won't make that stuff now because a lot of it's, inappropriate or like politically incorrect, whatever. I'm like, I think people want that back now.
I think they want it.
Yeah, they're like enough with the safety.
Because even like with when Harry Met Sally, it's like they're talking about sex, they're talking about like, and they're friends for like, I mean, they're friends the whole time, and they're just open about certain things.
Well, and it's just like the tiptoeing around people's feelings.
Yeah, they're not tiptoeing. They're like, hey, you're an idiot. Like, you shouldn't have been. And then she's like, hey, you're an idiot. You went through this divorce. It feels like a natural, real relationship.
Also, too, it's like, what does that help?
It doesn't help to
trying to be safe.
Tiptoe around people.
It's like, what is this doing?
Who are you protecting? Are you trying to protect somebody? Their feelings? Screw it.
Yeah, it's like a weird. I kind of like. I get why you should do that kind of stuff, but also like go fuck yourself. If you like, I don't want to say like don't be a snowflake, but like also just like get better. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like get better.
Yeah, get better.
Do better.
Toughen up.
Yeah,
do better. Push through it.
Or just don't be afraid to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Or be afraid to be like made fun of in some way. It's like
because laughter is like one of the only ways you can really overcome stuff.
Yeah.
Like life is just too crazy. You have to laugh about it.
It sucks for everybody. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like some people have it worse than others, obviously. But like there's no point in just like I feel like the safer it is, like the safety net, the bigger it gets, the worse it gets because there's just gonna be more stuff thrown in there.
Yeah.
If someone says like I can't even think of an example that I don't want to say on here, but you know what I mean? Of just like that's how sad it is.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it on here.
That it's like, God, just get over it, kind of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say without.
Yeah,
I'm trying to articulate it in a good way, and I feel like I'm not. But
yeah, and then even like with movies, because I saw this good TikTok video. This girl talking about how like the studios have been gaslighting us because we haven't been watching their bad movies.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that is what they're doing. So what they've done before is they're like, oh, you didn't see our 3 female diverse superhero movie? You must hate women.
It's so funny that you said that because someone brought up Ghostbusters to me a couple days ago.
Ghostbusters, another one. Oh, you must hate women because you didn't see this movie.
Did you see it?
I saw it. I'm one of the ones who saw it. I see these movies.
I saw I know you see everything. I saw like 12 minutes of the movie and I was like, this is the worst, dude.
It's just bad.
Yeah, and it has nothing
funny people and
nothing
to
do with the women in it. It's just this is a really poorly made movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, talking to this coworker about it, and he watched the whole thing and he was like, I tried to give it a shot. I tried because he watched it at home. I watched it at home so I could just turn it off. But he was like, yeah, I stuck through the whole thing because I felt like I should have at least before forming an opinion about it, at least watch the whole thing and then right afterwards.
Yeah.
But he was like, it was just like it has nothing to do with the women. It's just this is a very poorly made movie.
Yeah, but that's why it's called gaslighting. Because and then I looked it up because I'm like, ooh, that is like it has been gaslighting.
They do that a lot.
They do that a lot.
You're right. They did that. Like the Oceans movie.
The Girl Oceans
8.
movie.
Yeah, and it was like, and I watched
Ocean's
that one.
10. Yeah, it was 8.
10? Okay,
it was 8.
I watched that one. It was all right.
Yeah,
but then I remember it wasn't bad. But like I remember seeing, I was kind of look up movies after I watched them, and there was like Mindy was like, people don't want to watch women because there was like a bad review
Again,
about
it's like, no, I love seeing women.
Yeah, it has nothing
love
to do
it.
with the women in this.
Yeah.
Maybe some people think that way. I'm going to guess it's not the majority of people, but there always are going to be people that are misogynist, whatever. But like that has nothing to do with, if someone doesn't like it, it's not like, oh, well, they don't like women. It's like, well, no, you made a movie. That's why you don't like it.
But it's gaslighting, because gaslighting is when you try to make someone else question their reality.
Mm-hmm.
So
you turn it on them.
You turn it on them. So it's, them not trying to acknowledge that they made something bad, and instead they're like, oh, well, it's not my fault, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times they try to like just make it this big thing, but it's like, and then the girl in that TikTok video, she pointed out the new movies that aren't good do so bad that they're re-releasing anniversary movies of better movies. Like Episode 1 Phantom Menace, they were like 25th anniversary of this, re-released, it makes money again.
That's
Lord of the Rings. It came out this like last few weeks ago. Lord of the Rings, they're gonna re-release that, the originals, into the theaters because it made money and they're better movies than what's been coming out. So it's like it's not we have the problem. It's that you're making something bad and we're acknowledging this isn't good and then we don't see your movie.
Well, that's why I think overall box office is like going down.
And it's been like that for like the past
It's on a downward trend for
bit of years.
That Furiosa movie, Caesar's brought up earlier.
Yeah.
I heard it was like the worst opening for Memorial Day weekend,
which is crazy.
And it still made like 200 million or something crazy. And like, okay, well.
And then, do you guys follow IGN?
Years ago, I did.
So IGN is one where they'll like praise Furiosa for being, and I like the Mad Max movies. They're like very unique in style, and they're very, very big world. They're open world.
Yeah, it's its own flavor.
The tone is different. They'll like praise that movie, but then they on like that John Krasinski movie, If. And it's like, you cannot, like they take the same like criticism for Furiosa and they put it into this kid's movie. You can't do that. They're two different foods. This kid's movie, it's for kids.
Right.
I did see it. See, I see these things.
You watch everything.
I see the movies because I'm like, you're not going to gaslight me into saying like this is a bad movie. I'm going to figure it out for myself. I see the movie.
Right.
It's a sweet movie. Is it perfect? No. Is it like it's like they tried to do like a live action Pixar movie? Okay. It's kind of the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Is the third act weak? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, don't shit on it like it's like Shakespeare.
I'll tell you about IGN. Those are paid interviews. So they're studios will pay them to write about their movies.
Yeah.
So they'll say like, hey, even if you didn't like this, say everything you did like about it, but don't mention what stuff you didn't like. So for stuff like that, it's like there's money behind it. So like if
that one it looked like, oh, they must not have given them money at all for If.
Yeah.
Because they destroyed it. They gave it like a 4.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't be making movies.
There's all sorts of things happening. The one time I worked in like a journalistic thing. There's all sorts of stuff behind the scenes that kind of shifts those into a certain direction. So, and then like if they think it's not going to make money, they won't give any money they won't put any money behind making it sound good with critics. So like,
what was that too? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of things. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Furiosa maybe I might watch, but like there's nothing really. I'm like on that film scene where it's like, if you're wide release, I don't want to watch it, because it's probably gonna suck. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, it's
all these
like
big like stupid movies where it's like, give me like limited release, like $10 million budgets of just people trying to make good movies. I'll watch those, because everything that's like, so like was if I was gonna say it, if that's a different kind of movie.
Yeah.
Furiosa, like stuff that's like big like that, I just have no interest in watching, because I feel like I'm probably not gonna like it, because they're just like, I don't know, they're so bad nowadays.
Well, it's bad now. It did 30 years ago. Bring back to the 90s. Almost every movie that came out, we rewatched them.
You know what I watched the other day?
What?
Speed.
That's one of them.
That's an amazing movie.
That would have been a world release movie.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
That's an amazing movie.
That's an amazing movie.
And there's no other movie. Speed 2, maybe. There's no other movie like it. There's no like
That's
out of
it.
control bus and Keanu Reeves being like, ooh, you know, and the villain is hilarious. Dennis Hopper is really funny in that movie.
What year did that come out?
94.
94. Dude,
I saw that in the theaters
as a
5-year-old. Yeah. But I told you my dad did. He brought us to everything.
I would have. Yeah, but
I saw
that's
that in
it.
the theater. I saw
Dude.
Jurassic Park in the theater.
94. Was that the year? Dude, that was the year that if you went to the movie theater, it'd be Speed, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park was the year before.
Or it'd be
But
so
like
but the year that Jurassic Park came out, it was like if you saw
all bangers.
everything, because if you saw the screen in front of the movie theater, you'd be like, holy,
Yeah.
everything in there is good.
Something about, I'll say, well, I like 80s too, but mid 93 to like 99, bangers.
Yeah.
So many good movies that people rewatch today and they're like, this holds up.
Yeah.
The Marvels, no. That's not a banger and it does not hold up.
No.
Or whatever comes out now. What was the last Marvel movie? Was it that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Marvel. Oh, Caesar knows.
I liked it.
I
Okay.
thought it was okay. Again,
That's
like
it.
it's not.
Here's
It's
the
not
thing. I don't think that movie was bad, but it's
I was
okay.
entertained. Yeah,
I don't want to watch it again.
I'm okay to
Right?
not see it.
Maybe
I
one
saw
day
it,
if
though.
it's like, I'm like, let's see what the
Yeah.
Marvels is, if I remember it correctly. Because I watched Doctor Strange the other day, the second one, and I'd only seen that in the theater. Did I see it with you?
I don't know.
The
Multiverse of Madness.
yeah, and I remember thinking like, this is like
Like
all right. It's not
Mhm.
bad, but I don't know that I want to watch it again. But then
Yeah.
I watched it again, and I was like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
There was good moments in it because I like Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was really Raimi, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, there
Like
were
when
cool,
she was a
cool
zombie,
moments of that. Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Chasing him down the corridor. But then, yeah, there's moments in it. I hated the the alternate universe with like John Krasinski's Mr. Then she just kills them all.
Mhm.
It was totally random. Like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah, that was a big bummer.
And then they're all just dead.
Yeah, you got the cool character. Got cool characters in there, and then he's dead.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
that was
dead.
an interesting choice, but
yeah, Captain America.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
it's
Peggy
just
Carter.
Captain
Oh,
Britain. She's Captain UK now.
she's amazing. You kill her? No, don't you do that.
Cut her in half.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Even the actors are like, why did they have me do this?
Yeah. She didn't even like it. Huh?
She didn't like it.
Yeah.
And Patrick Stewart was like, I was just there by myself. There was no one around.
That's what's her name? There was that interview with Elizabeth Olsen,
Mhm.
and they show her like John Krasinski, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know him." She's like, "You had a scene with him." She's like, "No, I didn't." It's like they didn't even act together.
No, they
They're
don't
just
get to.
How does
It's
that
so
work? They're just in
sad.
front of a green screen acting to camera, and no one's there.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Anyway,
Yeah, that'd be wild. Like imagine you're in a movie where like technically on the bill is like all your favorite people ever, but it's just you surrounded by green screen, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up Robert De Niro by the throat, Leo's over here, Brad Pitt's over here.
you're like, "Oh, we shared a scene together, but we didn't work together."
Oh, that would break my heart.
Did you ever see that zombie movie that Chris D'Elia was supposed to be in?
Oh,
It's-
is it a Snyder
Zack
movie?
Snyder,
Yeah, it was in Vegas. It took place in Vegas.
Yeah.
And they just, when he deleted him, got deleted,
Mhm.
they took him out. And then they put in Tig instead, Tig Notaro.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just like she was CG'd into it. So it was like, that was an interesting choice. Because I don't think that would happen now if people are canceled. They'd probably still be in movies. But like that
Yeah.
was like height of canceling.
Yeah.
And so they just CG'd him
Just
out of the
go for
movie.
it.
And so like, like Tig is just acting in a corner somewhere like, oh, we've got to go kill the zombies. But she's not actually there. Like, what is this? Watch that movie if you haven't seen it. It's a good movie by itself, but I'm not a secret Snyder fan. I like Zack Snyder. People hate him, but he's very polarizing. We'll say that.
He's polar. Yeah.
He's very polarizing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. So Zack Snyder. Speaking of polarizing, and Zack Snyder, I like his movies are not necessarily well made at all, but they're just their own thing. That's why I like them.
Yeah. I really like Watchmen.
Yeah,
I like Watchmen.
well, that's the one I kind of whatever on.
I like 300.
It's because I like the comic and it's way different. But
Yeah.
what I like about Watchmen is it looks fucking cool.
It looks
Like,
cool.
It looks cool.
It looks like a comic book.
Yeah, it looks cool, and like it's got good music in it. And that fight scene when they're like in the fiery prison, that's rad.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, like Zack Snyder, he's very much like, I don't give a shit what you guys think. This is what I want to. Because I heard him on Rogan, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was
I watched
I'm
that
like,
one.
yeah, like this guy cool. And also his movies are just what he wants to do. And he, like when he talked about 300 and like the horses thing, he was like, I wanted to do this. And they said, no, let's do it this way. And I said, no, let's do it this way. It's like that, whether it's good or bad, that's really cool and really unique that this filmmaker is not caving to anybody else. You know,
and that's awesome. That's like a story we all want to root for.
Because I think why a lot of stuff sucks nowadays is because people are caving to studios, executives, whatever. They're like, make it whatever. And they're like, all right.
Yeah, like Seinfeld kind of went off when he was doing the Pop-Tart movie press about how you couldn't do Seinfeld now. You couldn't do it, the studio. But in the way he's right. It's not like, oh, you couldn't do those jokes.
It's just
because you could. It's that if you would bring the script to the studio, they'd be like, oh, well, you have to change this. Yeah. You can't have this character.
Elaine has to be black.
No,
like,
Elaine would be black. You
have to have
she'd
like
be black lesbian.
You got to have like diversity in there. Yeah. You got to have this. You can't say whatever. And it's like, well, I don't want to do it then.
And that's like the new struggle with the studio. And it's just weird because like throughout all of time, like there's been times of that where like the studio comes in and it's like, regardless of an agenda of the studio at the time, they'll just come in and they'll screw it up.
Try to get their hands in things.
Yeah, like back in the 50s, it would have been, oh, they can't be in the same bed together. It would have been like, oh, we have to.
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy time. It would be like, oh, we can't like have sex scenes. We can't do this stuff, which then led to the 60s, and it's like anything kind of went in the 60s, 70s, and then 80s it was kind of clean again, and the 90s. It's just so it's always going to happen.
It's like. I get like there's the executive and then there's the creative, and the minds don't see the same thing.
Yeah.
Like executives, and to their credit, like their job is to make money and they know how to do it, but not on a creative level. Like they know like how to write contracts, they know how to negotiate, blah, 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 blah. Don't touch the creative side of things.
Yeah.
Like that's, it's like a weird battle that's always going to be there. But for some reason, like this is executives, they're like they're pushing more into the creative side. Where it's like, you got to find like a middle ground here.
Yeah.
Like, I know some things have to be done, but also go yourself. This is the movie that I want to make.
Yeah.
So back to Zack Snyder. Like, I don't think he gives a shit. And he has these huge budgets for these movies.
Yeah.
Give him like $200 million every time his movies have these gigantic budgets. So he's doing something right. You know?
And then the Justice League movie was a perfect example of the studio.
They
screwing it
really
up.
screwed that one up. Even the 4.5 hour version is still not great.
That was
it's way better than the one that came out.
Yeah.
The one that came out was terrible. That weird final act, it's like all red, and then you're like,
and then
what is this?
CGI'd his mustache off.
Remember they had that family, that Slavic family or whatever, that just was added to it for no reason? And they're just like, oh, and he just keeps going to them, and like, why are they in this?
I don't know.
Do you remember that?
No.
Look it up. Like, watch the original, the Whedon version, whatever you want to call it. He cut out a lot of stuff, but then they added this weird family subplot. They're just like, they're experiencing what's going on of like the world blowing up, whatever's happening, and then like Superman has to go save them. Like, who are these people? Anywho, yeah, you're right. Whatever you said.
No more gaslight. Right. Don't let people gaslight you, especially studios,
especially when it's a creative endeavor.
Yeah. Go like what you like. Have a good take.
Yeah, have a good take.
Have a good take on it. Why does this suck? Well,
find a reason.
Find a good reason.
Like the old hater in me would be like, "This sucks." Blah blah. I try to at least.
That sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Like Cartman. I try to like.
You can
find something good in a lot of stuff now, even if I don't like it overall. Like, like we just talked about the Marvels, the music, and the Marvels. What did I say? Watchmen. Like, it looked great. The music was great. That fight scene was really cool. Instead of just like, this sucked, this sucked, this sucked. Like, yeah, maybe I didn't enjoy the whole package, but I liked these things about it. Like, that's what I try to do now. It doesn't always work, but I try to just like, well, somebody made this for you to watch, and you watched it.
Yeah.
So like, try to take something from it that's good. Even though if the whole package sucks, fine, but like try and find one thing that you liked about it. I think that's like a problem with a lot of people now when they consume content anyways. It's like they just shit on it or they just jerk it off, and it's like, well, it's like a whole package. Like, you try to find, if you're gonna shit on this thing, that doesn't do anyone any good.
Yeah, and it's funny because they'll be the ones with like 12 hours of screen time. They're watching a lot of stuff, but then they have nothing good to say about the stuff they watch.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, what do you like then? Oh, skippity toilet. And it's like, well, you literally know nothing about.
It came back. Skippity. What does that one mean again? Skippity toilet.
It's a cringy YouTube video thing.
It doesn't mean anything.
It has a meaning now.
Oh, what does it mean now?
In the slang. The slang is like it's so bad.
So when something's bad, it's skippity toilet.
Skippity toilet. It's really hard to look at.
Bring back 90s slang. Back to 90s.
Yeah.
None of us saying skippity toilet in 94. Can you imagine in Speed, like one of the people on the bus is like a young person in that era was like skippity toilet. Skippity toilet.
I came up with a bit the other day that like the fall of humanity won't be politics or the economy. It'll be Batman using Gen Z slang.
Jesus Christ.
Where he's like, oh, the Rizzler is at it again, Robin.
The Rizzler?
Oh, no cap.
The Rizzler?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We need to stop him.
Oh, instead of the Riddler, it's the Rizzler.
Stepping out on a Friday night. The Rizzler is at it again.
Rizzler is at it again. And I want it to be like
He's
when I
got
acted
so
out.
much riz, he hypnoptizes people. That's his power.
Yeah.
Look at me for you first, Batman.
And he's British. Hell
Well,
yeah.
it's like a Joker. Like it's like Joker, Rizzler.
The Rizzler.
I'm gonna rizz up the whole city, Batman.
Is he
my
telling
God.
Batman that he has skibbity toilet riz?
Batman,
You
have a
have to write something about the Rizzler.
That's the new bit.
okay.
That's the new bit.
That's incredible. The Rizzler. Oh my God.
What is it?
God.
Because in my head, it's like Adam West Batman. Because
Yeah.
that's like the most goofiest,
Wacky,
wackiest version. Where it's just like, Robin, what's wrong? Oh, I have low flowberry fizz, Batman.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Fam,
Bam.
are you okay?
You say, fam, are you okay?
And then, I gotta. Batman, what's wrong?
No, he's like rescuing people. We got you, fam.
Don't worry, fam.
Say less.
Say less. And then the best one.
Robin's like, he sees like the Joker. He's like, it's giving crazy.
And then the best one, Gat woman.
Oh my God.
You know I can't resist the Gat, Robin. You know I can't. But
Robin.
Batman, it's cringe when I ever see you talk to Gat woman.
Not me ignoring what you say, Robin.
But I do what I do.
Whoa. You have to
That's
do that.
the new bit.
That has to be a thing.
Yeah, that's the fall of humanity. Because you watch
Not
those
let him
shows,
get away, Robin.
Because like stuff
Jesus
like that,
Christ.
he would never use slang,
No.
and
He
that's
doesn't
what
use
keeps
slang,
him.
right?
That's what keeps him timeless. He doesn't use slang.
Yeah.
He might do his own stuff. He's
It
like,
is weird how slang is such a time capsule for its generation.
yeah.
You're like, whoa. I wonder what in like 20 years, the slang of right now, how that's going to age.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
It's currently terrible.
It's
but
gonna-
like it's
we're
going to get
gonna-
even worse.
Yeah, we're gonna look back and go, man, we were messed up.
The Gen Alpha.
Alpha,
They're
Alpha
going
will
to
be
like
like,
they're going
who
to be
even
like
knows?
the us of like these guys. Or, well, in terms of like talking about
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Gen Alpha might, if they detox now, they might be able to be like, I can't believe the people older than us are like that.
They have to be able to save the world because
They have to.
Gen
Someone
Z's-
has to.
Someone has to do it.
One of my jokes today was
Gen Z's not going to do it.
like
Idiots.
millennials were just about at that time when an old wizard is going to show up, hopefully, and be like, Clinton, I want to take you on an adventure. Because someone is not,
What are you talking about?
you're a wizard boy, Hagrid. Because it can't be the olds, you know. The olds they've
Yeah.
missed their chance to
they're
to
fucking-
save the world.
Yeah,
You know, Gen Z's
they lost their chance.
they've lost their chance.
Yeah.
Gen Z's too caught up in TikTok and brain rot.
Gen X. that's
Gen
before
X,
us, right?
Gen X, they're the generation of we
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah,
That's our parents. I didn't know it was bad to give you fast food your whole life.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, even like so I'm like kind of at the 1880 I think is when millennial technically starts. So like they're not that much older than us, the Gen Xers.
Yeah.
They're like in their 40s now, and they're still like
They're 40s, 50s.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like anyway, go on, continue.
But yeah, so like, but millennials, like, we're at this point where it's like, God damn, like the olds are in control still. Like, obviously, we have no good options
Right.
to run anything at all.
You're always like, these are our options.
This is it. What the fuck?
This is the best we can turn out.
How is this the best? It's like millennial. There's some millennial who has not taken the journey route yet.
Yeah.
Like it's on the screen. You need to do the main quest. They've not taken it.
They're doing all the side quests.
They're doing the side quest.
It's time to go to the main story.
That's what we do. It's because
It's like you're playing Zelda. It's like you can do whatever you want here, but you still have to finish the game.
that's it.
It's time
Yeah.
to finish the game.
Yeah, we finish it now.
I know that it's endless side quests, but it's time to do the story.
That's how it is. Us millennials, we're just at home. We're doing our side quests. We can
Right.
afford a house that's
Right.
made out of Legos. And that's about it. Like, we've done everything. We've collected all the gems.
Yeah.
We have all the gems. Gems and pops and
Yeah.
all the stuff.
Shiny as it's time to like
Go do the thing.
do the thing.
Go save the world.
Ugh, that's a great premise. I like that. Stop side questing.
Yeah, stop
Start
side
main
questing.
questing.
Yeah.
All right. Write that down.
Someone's not doing it.
I saw a funny Instagram video of somebody driving. You said buying houses. Somebody of
Yeah.
Legos. Somebody was driving at a Home Depot or a Lowe's. You know how they have sheds for sale outside, like a garden shed or whatever. People.
Yeah.
It was like a row of them, and someone drove by. I was like, "Oh, millennials looking at the kind of houses they can afford."
Yeah.
It's just like, that's true.
That's
I probably
it.
can't even afford one of those sheds. They're like $5,000. It would bankrupt me.
It would. Man.
Anyway. All right. Do you have anything else you want to wrap?
I don't know. Those are my bits I've been on.
Okay. I like this idea of ending on a
Yeah.
high note.
Yeah.
But that was fun. And we're kind of at the end anyway. Okay, well, I guess we'll stop there.
Mhm.
So thanks for being here, guys. Caesar,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
And do your things. Do your thingies.
You can follow me at I Am Caesar Rod and the other shows that I do at The Rodriguez Show. That's the radio show where I interview artists all over Orange County. Decade Dialogue is the show that I do with my friend where it's just a bunch of nonsense. Carla and Caesar's Modern Life. On YouTube, we do music reactions. And if you want me to produce a show for you, at Rodriguez Podcast. That's it.
What's the next music reaction going to be?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
Oh.
That album was really good.
Is
Oh,
there,
yeah?
Is there a new one?
Yeah, it just came out. We recorded it already. I just have to edit it.
Okay.
Is she less sad yet?
No, it's still pretty sad.
I'm now 21 and I'm sad and
No,
I'm
but-
gay too.
Yeah, and
and
I was
I'm
talking
here.
about eating girls out.
And
I'm
I
like,
eat
I can get
them
behind
out.
that out. I can get behind
That's
that.
what I was just joking. I haven't listened to it yet. But I knew it. I knew that was what it was going to be about.
Is that what her music was about before?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
No,
she
it's
was like 19 before.
I've only heard that one song that went viral. The
Dude.
Oh, that song's cool. but
yeah, I don't really know any other. She had that James Bond song too.
James Bond song was good. The Barbie
I
song
feel
was
like you would
good.
like some Billie Eilish. There's some vibes in there that go with what you would like
All right, maybe I'll check it out. The new one or just overall?
overall.
Okay, maybe I'll check her out.
That could work.
Clint.
At the _Clint show.
At the _Rizzler.
At the Riz. Rizzler. Oh, Batman, you cannot handle the Riz. You cannot. You have a gat from Ohio. No.
Caesar, you didn't record us. We were talking.
Oh, I really forgot.
Wait, should we
Blah,
do a
blah,
little
blah,
fake
blah,
bits?
blah,
Let's
blah,
do some
blah,
fake
blah,
bits. So then the Rizzler comes
It's fine.
Here.
I still gotta close it out anyway, so it's fine.
here on Gen Z Batman.
Anyway, Uncle 2_ Marcus on everything. The 30s pod on everything. And that's it. We'll see you next time.
Yes, have good Flowberry Fizz.
Have good Riz.
Have good Riz. May the good Riz be with you.
Let the Rizzler get you. I don't know. Whatever. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Sigmas.